We have absolutely nothing comedic for global winds. The region of the Earth receiving the sun's direct rays is the equator. Here, air is heated and rises, leaving low-pressure areas behind. Moving to about 30 degrees north and south of the equator, the warm air from the equator begins to cool and sink. Between 30 degrees latitude and the equator, most of the cooling, sinking air moves back towards the equator. The rest of the air flows toward the poles. The air movements toward the equator are called trade winds, warm, steady breezes that blow almost continuously. The Coriolis effect makes the trade winds appear to be curving to the west, whether they're traveling to the equator from the south or north. The trade winds coming from the south and north meet near the equator. These converging trade winds produce general upward winds as they are heated, so there are no steady surface winds. This area of calm is called the doldrums. Between 30 and 60 degrees latitude, the winds that move toward the poles appear to curve to the east. Because the winds are named from the direction from which they originate, these winds are called the prevailing westerlies. Prevailing westerlies in the northern hemisphere are responsible for many of the west movements across the United States and Canada. At about 60 degrees latitude in both hemispheres, the prevailing westerlies join with the polar easterlies to reduce upward motion. The polar easterlies form when the atmosphere over the poles cools. This cool air then sinks and spreads over the surface. As the air flows away from the poles, it is turned to the west by the Coriolis effect. Again, because these winds begin in the east, they are called easterlies. Many of these changes in wind direction are hard to visualize.
Large bodies of air of differing air pressure are called air masses. Differing pressure will make them hot or cold.
You're gonna pay for what you did to me. What you did in his name.
What I did.
When I killed Nathan, he had already turned against his own kind.
Liar.
この時間にテレポートしないと。
できないよ。
では、信じてるぞ。お前がどんな人になったか見た。お前ならできるよ。
Between air masses are areas called fronts. Whichever mass is hotter will rise to the top. Or which one is hotter, you ask? You decide. When there are large energy imbalances in a cloud, thunderstorms can happen.
Face the might of Thor! Know that you battle the god of thunder.
Around the equator, pressure differences can be quite large. These differences can form into a tropical storm. These storms, if they hit more hot water, can pick up hot air and become a hurricane. On land, if there's unstable air, moisture, and lift from hot air, a tornado can form.
Come to Tasmania, come to Tasmania.
When Topsy needs tubby, they start to spin like a Tasmanian devil and his closest kin.
Come to Tasmania, come to Tasmania.
If a tornado has winds above 225 miles per hour, it's considered a strong. But Mr. Alt, if you teach us about tornadoes, what might actually happen? I mean, think about it. You already taught us about global warming and that's happening. If you teach us about tornadoes, what's stopping it from happening? It's like you can teach the future. Well, okay, class. Today, we're gonna learn about exploding police cars.
What? Too much? This is...
Vocabulary! Albedo, insulation, conductor, density, barometer, isobar, sea breeze, land breeze, doldrums, Coriolis effect, dew point, relative humidity, maritime tropic, maritime polar, warm front, cold front, wind shear, lightning, tornado alley, waterfowl, typhoon, cyclone.
This is...
Getting old.